Well, Stevie, I think that's a good transition because I told you beforehand that the basis of our conversation here tonight is how we see this philosophical change in the Bills offense. And something that we've been talking about right along is that the way I see it, at least, and I think Kevin would agree with me, is that ever since Joe Brady took over, I think that this offense wants to be more well balanced because they were too one dimensional last year. And you heard how Joe Brady talked about that a couple of weeks ago. He said we need to be two dimensional. So I think that they want to use
Yes.
the running game to set up the passing game because too many times teams were just teeing off on Allen and Diggs because they knew what was coming under Ken Dorsey's offense. So now I think you mentioned they drafted Ray Davis. They have James Cook. They brought back Ty Johnson. They're going to run 12 personnel again with those two tight ends. They totally built up the offensive line, and they really only lost Mitch Morse, but they drafted three guys. They signed La'el Collins. They brought over Will Clapp. So they have a lot of pieces, and now all these wide receivers who on the outside looking in, the football world is probably saying, what are the Buffalo Bills doing? But I really think that this is a smart approach because it's going to be a wide receiver by committee approach. And, you talked about those space creators with Khalil Shakir, Curtis Samuel, KJ Hamler. We talked about the running game and the tight ends. And I think that they're going to have these big body receivers, Keon Coleman, Matt Collins, now Chase Claypool. And who's the other one that I'm forgetting here? Because they had Justin Shorter. So they have four
Shorter.
guys who are 6'4" and 220 pounds or more. So I think those are going to be the run blockers. They're going to help pave the way, and then they're going to use their size to their advantage, go up and make the tough contested catch. And I think what you're going to see from the defense is they're going to respect that, and they're going to come up and say, hey, we really need to pay attention to these weapons, and we need to respect their running game. And once the defense comes up enough, that's why the Bills signed a guy like Marquez Valdes-Scantling, because now he can take the top off. So I think this is going to be a very well-balanced approach, and I think that's pretty much what you're getting at too, right?
Man, absolutely. This team is stacked. I can't wait to get on Madden and play with them again. It's going to be unbelievable this year. I just want them to not be competitive with each other. I want them to just love each other, man, and understand that, hey, you go up today, I'm going to go up next week, or I'm going to go up the next quarter or something. Have that mentality. Because it's so much money out there for y'all to get. And when I say money, yeah, physical money and just like plays. There's a lot of balls to go around, man. And I mean, we got nothing but playmakers on the team. If they just buy into it and understand what they're building, I feel like this is our time. This is our time. Every year is our year, man. I say it all the time, but every year is our year. You know how it goes.
Steve, I have two more for you. One's more of a statement and then one's a question, but the two correlate. So when you were saying how the wide receivers have to learn how to love the DBs and vice versa, I started thinking about Justin Shorter because he went up against Kyer Elam in college. So I think those are two guys who are going to be battling this summer going into the season because I think both guys want to prove themselves. And I think that would be a perfect example of how iron sharpens iron. And, maybe it's not Trey White against Stephon Diggs, but I think that could be a very underrated battle where that they can both help each other because they have that experience playing in Florida together.
Absolutely. That's where it all starts. That's where it all starts, competing with each other, but not having a malicious competition, because it can go both ways. People can be like, hey, I'm fighting for this spot, or you know what I'm saying? Hey, I don't want to dominate my guy on defense because I know he's trying to get a spot. You can't take it easy on him. You got to compete, but with that mindset that we elevating each other. And that was me and Stephon, me and Drayton. We didn't care if Drayton got me and he jammed me off the line, that's good. I got to figure out a way to get better. He wasn't taking it easy on me, because if he took it easy on me, then I wouldn't know how to get off the line. You feel me? So just continue competing with each other, and the evolution will come. Just continue lead. Like I was about to say, lead the break. Continue leading the break like red zone football. But yeah, continue leading your wave.
And the last thing that I want to say is I want to finish by talking about the depth chart here, because I'm curious to see your opinions. We're talking about Justin Shorter. We also mentioned Chase Claypool, and by all accounts, he's been really showing up and showing out so far. So in your mind, how do you see this depth chart shaken out here? And how many wide receivers do you think that the Bills will carry? Because a couple of weeks ago, Kevin and I were trying to, guesstimate here with the depth chart. And we said that it could really come down to Justin Shorter and Chase Claypool for wide receiver 6. So if you want to start at wide receiver 1 and work your way back, I mean, the floor is yours. So just how do you see the room shaking out as a whole?
Okay, yeah, let's throw out names in. So we know for sure that our draftees go be there. So Keon's go be there. We know Coleman. We know Mac Hollins. I feel like Mac Hollins is a great savvy player that we can keep. Obviously, our addition with a Super Bowl champion. Shoot for us, Claypool Shorter,
Well,
and
there's
then we
Curtis
have
Samuel
KJ.
too.
Do we have any practice squad eligibility?
Let's just pull up the depth chart here, and we'll go on. I mean, because the Bills have.
He will. Shorter will definitely have practice squad eligibility. That's probably where he's likely to fit. But hey, if he has a great camp, I mean, he could win that job. But Shorter would have that practice squad eligibility for sure.
Yeah, because that's kind of what I'm thinking. Because if anyone was to get the nod, it'd be Claypool over Shorter. Because I mean, obviously his draft status all that. It does play a part. His potential. It does play a part. He's not a 5'11" guy. He's literally 6'5", damn near 230, 240. Yep. How could you pass that up? And if he's showing that he can make the same plays that Shorter's making in practice, Claypool is going to get the nod. It is what it is. Shorter got to continue to grind and bust his butt because anything can happen any week. And just don't be discouraged at all because he can still be a stud on the squad later on or somewhere else. We hope it's not somewhere else, but it is what it is. It's not the end of the world for you. But yeah, I would say Claypool may get Shorter out if it was a head-to-head competition.
So
that's
Stevie,
just how it is.
Would you agree then that it's Keon Coleman, Curtis Samuel, Khalil Shakir as the top three?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
absolutely.
So
then I would throw in Hollins. I would throw Hollins in after that.
MVS?
Valdez Scotland. Yeah, I would say he would stay. And yeah, KJ, Chase, and Shorter, they fighting for position in whatever undrafted free agents we have. Y'all still not out the picture either. Y'all can make it. I mean, I don't want to say this either, but injuries happen, but at the end of the day, I was a 7th round draft pick, 224. Nobody at that time, definitely no 7th rounds was making a team. Hey, go out and do what you do, man. It's your world. Why not you? Shout out my boy JK. Why not you?
Yeah, shout out to Terrell Shavers, a guy that's been really impressing to the camp in camp last year, and is said to be making a push in special teams. So Shavers as well. But yeah, look at what you were able to do, and then obviously you got guys like Puka Nacua in the 5th round. But I mean, he's as good as anybody is in the league. Yeah. So absolutely right.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a lot of opportunity. They just got to stay focused, stay locked in. Don't get your mind distracted off of the write-ups, the naysayers and things like that. Just understand that the Bills have a plan, and do whatever you can to stay in that building. Do whatever you can, whether special teams, practice squad. I love practice squad. I wasn't officially on a practice squad, but that's where I was able to work on the moves that people wasn't teaching. It was during those scout team sessions. So just enjoy it, man. Y'all in a hell of a time right now. Enjoy it.
So just so we're all on the same page, if I were to put these wide receivers in tiers, you have Coleman, Samuel, Shakir, Mac Hollins, and MVS, wide receivers 1 through 5. And then it looks like Chase Claypool, Justin Shorter, and KJ Hamler will be battling for wide receiver 6. And then if they do decide to keep that 7th, or if there's someone who just really surprises in training camp, there still is Andy Isabella, Tyrell Shavers, like you mentioned, Brian Thompson, Lawrence Keys, and Xavier Johnson. So it's going to be a battle this summer.
Hey, I'm looking forward to seeing them go to work, man. I can't wait to see them battle against the DBs. I can't wait to see them against the preseason opponents. Because you named some names I forgot about. I forgot we had Andy Isabella. I've been checking him since he was with Arizona Cardinals. He's got sweet moves. Man, that's another guy that can make it. Xavier, he showed great skill coming in. It's great. It's great for us to see right now. I'm looking forward to St. John Fishers.
Awesome. Stevie, last question we got. Someone wants you to come out of retirement. You still got those moves that made you famous back in 2010?
Oh, yeah. I can get a couple first down. Hey, red zone killer. I'm ready. Get me in there, red zone. and let the boys do the rest.